All right, welcome back. Now, today is the last day for public comments on the proposal by the Department of Basic Education on its intentions to drop maths as a compulsory subject for pupils studying accounting until Matric. The department has gazetted the proposed change to the Schools Act for public comment. Now, the department's curriculum specialist has been here on our show on Morning Live the past few weeks. And so today we're taking this discussion further with Satu General Secretary Mugwena Maluleke. He joins us from our studios in Pretoria. And in a short while, we'll also be joined by Professor Percy Sepeng, who is an expert in mathematics from the University of Northwest. And Dr. Maluleke, good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning indeed, and thank you for having us this morning.
Thank you so much indeed. Now, what is Satu's reaction on this matter?
Our position as an organization is that we must welcome the fact that the department is indeed consulting about this particular policy directive. Secondly, it is that indeed we have been engaged with our members and as well as the department to try to understand why the department would want to commit this grievous mistake of not allowing our children to have mathematics as a basic requirement in life. Because without mathematics at a basic level, you're closing the chances of our children to be able to flourish in life.
And as you say that you've been in discussions with the Department of Basic Education, are you happy with the explanations and the reasons that you got from them?
We are totally not happy with these particular explanations that they're giving us, because basically it is that the department is failing to read the children correctly. So it is important that we listen to the inner cry, and the inner cry of our children is that give us the opportunities to learn, help the teachers to help us to learn, rather than to judge all of them. And when I'm saying reading, I mean judging them and then saying they cannot be able to do mathematics. The National Development Plan is saying that 90% of our children by 2030 must be able to pass mathematics by over 50%. So if we are then dropping the numbers and say it's no longer compulsory, we're not going to be able to realize that 90% of our children in the country being able to perform above 50% in mathematics.
So according to your members as Satu, what are they saying? What seems to be the main problem here? Because the department is saying that not every child is good in mathematics, therefore it should not be compulsory as a subject.
That is the wrong reading that we are talking about, that you immediately say the children cannot do mathematics. This is a basic lifelong skill that the children need. Basically, mathematics would help them to detect the values and virtues that we want in our country, just to be caring about other human beings. It's a calculated logic, and therefore you need that particular mathematics. So what we know our members are saying is that give us the support, give us the necessary tools to be able to give the children the experience of life, so that they are then able to learn the basic skills in mathematics. So what is needed is that there must be training of our teachers, those who did not do functional mathematics or even fundamental mathematics or basic mathematics. They have got to do that so that they are then able to help our children. So each and every child can do mathematics, except that we are saying, yes, we agree, not each and every child will specialize in mathematics from grade 10 up to grade 12, but from grade 1 up to grade 9, we are saying this is a basic requirement for you to flourish in life.
And of course, you made mention of the fact that a training to your members is very essential. The issue of training, should you not have raised it maybe before, seeing that that's where the actual problem lies?
Well, we have been raising the issue of training. You remember that we have been saying that colleges of education should be reopened, so that we are then able to have our teachers being given the opportunity to learn more and more, because we have agreements with the department about the issue of teacher development, which has not been budgeted for. So we have been raising the issue of training. We also have said at an initial training, when you take the student for teacher training, you've got to ensure that one of the requirements is that each and every student must be able to draw mathematics according to the level for which that particular student has applied for. So if it's a foundation phase, you have to ensure that they do mathematics for foundation phase. If it's for senior phase, that particular teacher cannot graduate from a college or from a university without the understanding of mathematics for that particular level, so that you are then able to say for each and every child, we need to ensure that they receive education, in particular mathematics, at their age level, but also at their required level. So we have been raising that.
All right, let me just bring an expert into the conversation, Professor Percy Sepeng from the University of Northwest. Prof, good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much indeed. Now, your take on the proposals by the department to actually do away with mathematics?
Yeah, I think it is really unfortunate for us to be talking about, relegating issues of mathematics, because we know the importance of mathematics, not only within our society, but then the impact that mathematics can have in the economy. So I think it is really, really unfortunate for the department to be in the position to, think about, lowering the standards, because for me, in terms of what research says, the issue of mathematics is very important, because once you lower the standard of teaching and learning mathematics, obviously you will be impacting negatively on what mathematics can do for us. But then most importantly, poor assessment or low standard in assessment will obviously, result in poor teaching in the classroom. And I thought perhaps the Department of Basic Education and other stakeholders should be in the position to say, what can we do rather than lowering the standards? Because the notion or the concept of teacher development in mathematics, I think it has been overlooked, and then it has been underestimated.
Yeah, that is what Dr. Maluleke was saying from Satu, that they actually have to look into the issue of more training and teacher development. But what problems do you think the decision will have, or the impact it will have on these students, more so when they proceed to their tertiary level?
Yeah, I think the immediate impact that we're experiencing at the universities right now is that most of these students, even those who got higher grades, in terms of maybe getting distinctions and so forth, they are struggling to complete their degrees on record time. And then I thought perhaps one of the things that needed to be done was to not maybe keep the standards as they are, because although the 50% pass, for an example, in terms of the university requirements, those students also tend to, encounter problems in terms of, excelling and then also completing their degrees on record time. So I think it will be a most unfortunate, position that the universities will find themselves in terms of, careers like your engineering and science and also medicine, because we're struggling in terms of getting a, adequate or sufficient pool of students who would perhaps... Yeah.
All right, just a quick one on this one, because some experts say that the department actually lost it when they introduced maths literacy as an option to your original mathematics.
Yeah, I think looking at, the purpose of introducing mathematical literacy, I think the Department of Basic Education had a good intention. But then unfortunately, because of the way the school principals and the districts, looking at the issue of improving their results, in schools, I think most of them took an advantage of diverting most of these learners who would, naturally do mathematics and do well if they receive very good teaching, to deviate them into, enrolling in mathematical literacy. And I think that was the problem, because looking at the ratios between students or learners who are doing mathematics versus those who are doing mathematical literacy, I think we have lost a good number of learners who were supposed to be doing mathematics, pure mathematics, but they end up doing mathematical literacy.
Yeah, and you can't really do anything with maths literacy. It's not a substitute to your original mathematics.
Yes, in fact, mathematics and mathematical literacy are two different things.
And a lot of people are of the view that maths literacy is even easier than your original mathematics.
Yes, that's the conception that we have.
Yeah. All right, let me just go back to Pretoria. That's where Satu General Secretary is, in Mugwena Maluleke. And Maluleke, now, what happens? Have you made your your submissions to the department, and a lot of people are also of the view that this is just a formality. The department will surely implement this proposal.
Well, we're finalizing our submission because we're engaging at the level of discussions, and then we will then be making our submission today as we're closing. But we'll continue to do that online because they're saying it's going to be done online. However, obviously, online is also making sure that there's no access to this particular discussion to our rural communities, and basically also our township communities will not have access to that particular online. And this is a discussion that should be open to each and every person, because as I agree with Professor Sepeng, it is that mathematics, for us to be able to flourish as a country, we need the basics of mathematics, and therefore we will continue to engage the department. So if it is a done deal by the department, it will be an unfortunate decision. It will be an unfortunate policy directive when we are dealing with serious unemployment, inequality in our country, and therefore we need to be giving each and every child experience of life. And mathematics can be done by each and every student because we need it to look at just at the level and not make mathematics to be something that is like a monster.
All right, gentlemen, we'll leave it at that, but thank you so much to Mugwena Maluleke. He is the General Secretary of Satu, joining us from a series in Pretoria, and here in Johannesburg we are joined by Professor Percy Sepeng. He is the mathematician from the University of Northwest, talking about the public comments on the proposal by the Department of Education to lower marks as well as to do away with mathematics as a compulsory subject. Well, that's